welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you're watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand this solely to take your decision. Your whole like will motivate me to be regular in working more hard for you. So let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in different time frames. So friends, here you can see a daily chart of natural gas futures. So here you can see how the natural gas futures have been maintaining an uptrend since March 2021 from the lowest level 2.422, and since then we have seen this uptrend in the lower zone of this uptrend zone, where we have seen an advent of a breakout on August 26 from the lowest level 3.915 when the natural gas futures started to move upward and continued this uptrend up to September 15th and tested the lowest 5.647 on September 15th. But here you can see that how this level seems to be an important level, because here the natural gas futures started to move downward and continued this downward trend up to the lowest 4.748, where the natural gas futures found some support and continued this rally once again on September 23rd and finally tested a peak at the 6.314 on September 28th. But here a sharp sell-off was there, which resulted in formation of this exhaustive candle, which kept the natural gas futures under some pressure on September 29th. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures continued to sustain well above the lowest 5.461 from September 29th and finally tested a high at the lowest 6.526 on October 6th. So this was a 7-year peak what the natural gas futures tested on October 6th. But here you can see that how the natural gas futures found a sharp sell-off from here and continued to remain under heavy bearish pressure and tested the mid of this uptrend zone on October 8th. And here you can see that how the natural gas futures found buying support below the levels of 5.359. So friends, here I find that this level seems to be a strong support for natural gas futures, because from here the natural gas futures found a sharp pullback from the lows of the 5.177 on October 12th and finally tested another high at the 5.944 on October 14th. But once again selling continued from these highs, and this profit booking pushed the natural gas futures to test the lowest of the 4.825 on October 19th. But since then we have seen the continuation of an uptrend in natural gas futures, where we have seen the natural gas futures have tested a high at the 6.110 on October 26th. But here you can see that how the volatility was extremely higher on October 26th, which resulted in a sharp sell-off here, but a sharp pullback was there from the lowest of the 5.614 on October 26th. So this confirms the continuity of buying support in natural gas futures, which finally closed the natural gas futures on October 26th well above the median support at the lowest 5.851, what I have drawn here in a daily time frame. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been constantly trying to breach the psychological resistance at the 6. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures started the day at the lowest 5.950 and tested a high at the lowest 5.993 and a low at the lowest 5.928 and currently trading at the lowest 5.960. So friends, here I find that this shooting star looks evident enough for a breakout move today, which may continue after the announcement of this weekly inventory, where the expected level of weekly injection is around 90 billion cubic feet. So friends, here I find that a breakout above the lowest 6.110 will confirm the continuity of this uptrend, which may continue up to this weekly closing, where I find that the natural gas futures could try to test the major resistance at the 6.312. So friends, now let's check these moves with the help of Ichimoku Cloud. Friends, now let me zoom this portion for you. So here you can see that how the natural futures have finally tested a major support here well above the upper end of Ichimoku Cloud. What have drawn this saucer. So natural futures have finally tested the low end of this saucer and continued to move upward since October 19th, and here you can see that how the natural futures were trading well below this uptrend line here. So friends, here you can see that finally the natural futures found a breakout well above this major resistance at 26 days moving average on October 25th and tested the psychological resistance at $6 on October 25th. And here you can see that how the natural gas futures behaved on October 26th when the natural gas futures found an upward move up to the lowest 6.101 and tested a low at the lowest 5.608. So here I find that this pullback was evident enough for continuity of an uptrend, because here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been currently trading in a narrow range. So friends, here I find that today the natural gas futures could try to sustain well above the lowest 6.106, where a sister move could push the natural gas futures towards the levels of the 6.314. So friends, here I find that the natural gas futures could test the levels to 6.314 before the announcement of this weekly inventory, where I find that a lower injection could result in a sharp upward move which may continue up to this weekly closing, where the natural gas futures could test the levels of the 6.718. So friends, now let us check this move in an hourly time frame. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures started this week with a gap up opening above the levels of 4.642, and since then the natural gas futures have been well maintaining above this gap up, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures continued to move upward once again, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures have already tested a high at the 6.236 on October 26, but here some profit selling was there. But finally, the natural gas futures found a strong buying support at the 5.740 on October 26, and since then the natural gas futures have been well consolidating here well above the levels of the 5.924, where I find that shortly we will see a breakout move where a sister move above the levels of the 6.105 will confirm the continuity of this upward move, and on the lower side I find that if the natural gas futures are not able to hold the levels of the 5.851 in today's move, we will see a downward move up to the lower end of Ichimoku Cloud in an hourly time frame, which is currently at the 5.681, from where a sharp bounce back will be seen in an hourly time frame, which may result in a breakout above the upper end of Ichimoku Cloud. So friends, here I find that shortly we will see an extremely volatile move in today's trading session. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.